Everybody who befriends you is not your friend. I don't care if you're a woman or a man. A lot of times people befriend you for different reasons. And a lot of times a lot of y'all will have friends, and I'm gonna get to the men on this one. A lot of you have friends around you that don't even like you. They hate your guts. Anytime you do something successful, they got something bad to say. They throwing off of the hand. Anytime, and you're not just paying attention because you thinking it's nothing. Oh, that's just the way it is. Nah, it's more to it than that. And then when you get with somebody, they got something to say. They got some slick, underhanded things to say or whatever, and always putting doubt in your mind about this woman. Granted, this woman has never gave you any reason to doubt her. But because of that jealous and envious person around you, you want to listen to him. A lot of times these men don't even have girlfriends. They can't even keep a woman because of the way how they are. They trifling. Okay, I'm just gonna put it in your language. They are trifling. Okay, they can't even keep a person because they constantly going on to this woman, that woman, all this kind of stuff, and stirring up chaos or whatever. Some of these men are even married, cheating on their wives. So they giving you information, telling you what you could do, and talking about, oh, when they get around you, always talking about other women, showing you videos and stuff about women, and you letting people to come and disrespect your marriage, even at your own home, talking about other women. And you wonder why your wife don't like them. Because why? A lot of times she know what they're up to. And she's trying to warn you. And it ain't about control. She's trying to warn you the path that she see where you taking because she know your friends ain't up to no good. But now you think this is your buddy. But you mess around and listen to your buddy go out there and see another doggone woman. And a lot of time it be your buddy come back and tell your wife what you was doing. Because why? That man was he wanted your wife the whole time. But see, you allow him to plant those seeds into your mind about your wife, and your wife never gave you a reason to think that she was going to cheat on you. But you went out there and did it because you let some no good person, and I'm going to be nice, put some stuff in your head about what she was doing because you are weak. And I said it because you were too busy letting other people do things instead of you correcting and say, you know what? I'm not going to deal with you because every time I talk to you, you always got something that's bad to say. You always talking about other women, and then you want to put off and all this kind of stuff about women and all this kind of stuff when they say what you don't know what they're doing when you ain't here. Have you not heard that before? Trust me. How many times have you heard that? And I'm a woman, I'm telling you. I've heard men say that. You don't know what they're doing behind your back. You don't know what they're doing when you ain't around. Because it's to plant a seed in your mind about what that person's doing. Okay? And this, I'm not talking about people who are cheating. I'm talking about in this one, people who are not. So when they aren't doing anything, you get in your mind, okay, if she's doing it, I'm going to do it. Instead of you sitting down and having conversations about your wife. And first and foremost, you should already know how your wife is. You should already know how your husband is because men good too. Because I'm getting you next. You should already know. Okay? But a lot of y'all rather listen to these so-called friends than anything. And a lot of these people, and look, granted, you may have a friend out the whole bunch who tell you when you're wrong, but instead, you don't want to listen to her. This friend, she could be single or she can even be married. She can even have, well, it don't even matter. But she always telling you when you wrong, no matter what. But your other friends, you know what I'm saying? They telling you what you want to hear. Same up with men. You may have one out the bunch who's letting you know you wrong. I don't care if he's single, he could be in a relationship or married. He's letting you know that you wrong. You shouldn't be listening to him. But you want to know who you listen to? The other ones. So sooner or later, y'all going to push those people out. You see what I'm saying? Other people going to have a problem with them people because why? They telling you the truth. They trying to stop you. They see danger. They know what these people are telling you is wrong. But you don't want to listen to them. And by your actions, you end up losing your wife. You end up losing your husband because you were dumb enough to sit there and listen to these people tell you things about a person that you should already know about, or tell you things about other people, other women, and you should go this and you should do all that. Look, if their life was so grand, their life would be in such chaos. Look at these people's life. Why would you take any type of advice from them? If you are constantly listening to people whose life is full of chaos, I see gurus online. I like to call them gurus. These people's life is so chaotic. But yet they trying to tell you how to be a better person. Well, they're not even taking their own advice. They haven't even implemented on being a better person. They haven't even started to being a better person. Okay? Not even a bit. But yet you rather listen to them than to really listen to a person who actually has become better. And these persons don't even have to be with God yet. There are people out there who's literally working on themselves in the world. They're not out there doing stuff like other people. They're rare, but they're out there. You don't want to listen to them. You better listen to that friend that's pulling you into chaos. Now I'm going to get to the part of when it comes to the Lord. There are men of God and women of God as well, that you have people around you that are pulling you into situations that you should not be in. These people say that they're of God, but baby, they're not. They're not. And these people will slowly but surely pull you away from God, get you to do things that you normally wouldn't do. For instance, let's just say, back in the day, you used to go to bars. So you meet this person be like, hey, let's eat at this restaurant, but at this restaurant have a bar, right? That's the excuse. Hold on. So it's like, okay, let's go there. Well, I tell you what, let's go to this restaurant and all this kind of stuff or whatever. But you know the way how it was for you back in the day. So if you're like, you know what? Okay, that's fine. We're going to go to there. I'm not going to necessarily get anything. Well, you know what? Let's go and sit at the bar. You don't have to order anything. You know what I'm saying? No liquor, nothing like that. You could just order a Coke. You could just order something like that. Water. So you're like, oh, okay. So there it is. It starts. So every time y'all get together, they always offering up for you to go and be in places and spaces to where you used to be, or something familiar to that place, or even around familiar people. You have to pay attention to this. And eventually, because it's not like automatic, like, because they will know, like, that would be kind of obvious. So they would be trying to pull you. It's like a string, little bit by little bit. If they bite it, I'm gonna pull it. If they bite, I'm gonna pull. So that's what they're doing. So slowly but surely, you are being pulled away from God. You may be still talking about God, but you're being pulled away by someone who is not. And this ain't about being perfect, because there are people who are in the kingdom of God who says that they are, but they're not. This is where you need to understand what I'm saying. They are placed here by the enemy to cause division and confusion, and to plant other seeds that are not of God. That is their purpose. So they're getting you to do this. I don't care if you befriend a person, and even if you're married and you a man or woman of God, these people are always going to pull you away from covenant. Anything about covenant, they're going to pull you away and out of. Okay? That's their purpose. Whether you married, whether you're covenant with God, and technically you are with God. So they're going to pull you away from God into the direction of the enemy. And a lot of times people do not realize it until it's too late. And by that time, they're no longer doing what they're supposed to be doing. Now they're out and about. They're drinking, they're partying, they're having sex. They're doing all this stuff. They're meeting people. They're going out on dates with men or women and doing all this stuff they was not doing, because they was sitting their self in front of God and actually waiting on the Lord, or letting the Lord prepare them. I'm telling you this because this is the dangers of society, where you are not. I gave you different versions, and that's not everything. That's just a few. This video ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to do different parts, but just to give you an idea. Everybody is not your friend. Everybody who comes into your life is not meant to be from God. There are people who come into your life that you are meant to drop seeds to. They are not meant to pull you away from God. You see what I'm saying? That's not that's not why you are there in their life. That may be their purpose, but that's not why you there. You can still drop seeds to people who are not of God and keep going. You just not supposed to be partaking in things that they are doing. Okay, that's a whole different story in itself. You don't need to go out there and drink and party to become like that. And I'm going to tell you right now, I tried to tell my husband this. My husband felt like that he could go out, that in order to get people to come to the Lord, that he could go out there and drink and party and do all those things. And I'm like, why would somebody who's drinking and party listen to you? You are trying to tell them what they should and should not do, but you out there with them. Okay, that makes no sense. That is his logic. There are plenty of people logic like that. They like to think that. I said, first of all, you're not going to be able to pull them to God, but they're going to pull you to where they are. And that's exactly what happened to him. He fell deeper and deeper into chaos because he would not listen. Okay? And it cost him his life. So you have people out here that's doing things. And that wasn't the only thing that he did, the reason why it cost him his life. There was a lot of things that he did. And God even warned him. So a lot of times people will use religion as well, or God, because my husband was religious. He did not have a relationship with God. So he felt like once saved, always saved. I can do whatever I want to. And I told him the devil is a liar, and he paid the price for it. Okay. I don't care what these other people say. I know what I have witnessed and what I've seen and what I've encountered. I know people who are no longer here because they use that as a notion. Okay. And my husband is a prime example of that.